Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Elisa Maria Designs. I am Elisa Maria. Welcome back if you are back, and welcome if you are new. We are happy to have you here. It is WIP Wednesday, and I am so excited because I have been working super hard on my current WIP, my first WIP of 2025, my Angel 130 from Diamond Art Emporium. She's a lot of confetti. Let's get to it. I left a little piece for you guys because I find it so hard to talk and diamond paint. So I got a little section. Let me tell you, it's been a crazy 2025 so far. Let me tell you. Oh, don't look at my house. We are in the middle of so much right now in this house. I am just like John and I just had a powwow about like how we're going to handle things. But anyway, here she is. Top part. I'm going to take this back so that you can get a little peek of the rest of her face. Just pure Botticelli vibes with this angel. I absolutely adore her. I couldn't wait to get to this face. I think she's so pretty. I have already sealed the top part of this canvas. I was reading something, I believe it was on Art Dot. Someone had asked me, what kind of sealant do you use? And I said, well, I really don't seal my diamond paintings. However, when I did Nordic Christmas Village, I found that my drills were popping, and that's a Dreamer Design one. And I think it's an old drill field. I know that Dreamer Designs is now, they're working on their drill field. And I just, Anthony from Single and Placing made a very good observation when he said that he felt as though the drills were different sizes. And I had thought that with lilac, but I just thought, what do I know about diamond painting? I'm a new diamond painter, And so I was really kind of hesitant with anything that I said. I love lilac. She's one of my favorite diamond paintings. And I really thought it was part of the diamond painting to give the diamond painting texture, which it did. But the white ABs in Lilac by Curtis Reikovich seemed to be a little bit bigger than the actual drills. And I thought, well, they're AB drills. Maybe that's what's going on. But then again, when I would look at my drill tray, I would be like, how come these don't all look like they're beveled the same way? So, I mean, now that I'm a little bit more experienced, I think I've only been diamond painting, I think it's a year. I think I'm going on my second year. I'm now aware of these things, is what I'm trying to say. But I did feel like with lilac, the ABs were bigger, they were rounds, and it really added to, because she's wearing a lot of fur, she's wearing like a fur muff and a fur hat, it made the fur look like it was standing up. And so I had liked the effect, whether it was on purpose, by design, or it was just that, hey, our drills are different sizes. I don't know. But I found in Nordic Christmas Village that the drills were popping. And so I used the Art Dot sealant. Now, I was reading that it's best to do your sealant in sections because the canvas might kind of shrink a little bit or move the drills. Doing it all at once always kind of made me a little hesitant about doing it all at once. But here you go. I mean, the sparkle is still there. The canvas is still soft and pliable. The drills are, they're not moving anymore. I'm not worried about that. And I kind of like the idea of doing it in sections. So that's what I'm going to do. So another thing that I've been doing is I'm using release paper. Now, I had the release paper going this way. And so I was just pulling up a piece and doing this side and then pulling up the next piece. So I was counting this as 2 blocks. So there's actually 12 blocks here that are done, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. All right, because they were going the other way. So there was 2 rows. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Did I do 24 blocks already? No, can't be. Yeah, I did. Because if this was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, then I did 24 blocks already here. Wow, I'm really going through this quickly. There's a lot of confetti in her. I started at the top. Now, what Lizette does, and I've seen her do multiple times. I don't know if she does it. I don't know. Maybe it was just the canvases that she was working on, because I do think that your canvases dictate in a way sometimes how you diamond paint. She then comes down to the bottom. So yes, there's some done on the bottom too. And I had turned my release paper around. Did I lose that piece of release paper that I was just playing with? Where'd it go? I mean, I'm the only person I know that can stand still and lose something. Oh, I put it back. Okay. Let me go back. In my little kit that I'm having here, I bought this on Amazon. It is a makeup kit, but I am using it to carry a lot of my stuff, and you guys are loving it. So here's my tray. I have been rolling with my little art dot roller, my drill spaces once I'm done. This is the pen that came with the boy angel, and here's my pen that came with the girl angel. Here we go. I'm going to put her right here. And then I have my other diamond painting pens. This has wax in it. That has putty. I switch back and forth. I was saying, in take one that I feel that the art dot putty has changed in some way because of the change in weather. And I think whether you have forced air, which I don't, or radiator heat is making a difference. And I came to this aha moment. I'm putting these here. I came to this aha moment yesterday when I went to the eye doctor. So some of you know that I was suffering with this feeling of, now Foofy wants to play with his toy, this feeling of having something in my eye. I keep feeling like there's something in my eye, there's something in my eye. And it's called foreign object sensation. So what's happening is not that you have something in your eye, it's that, we have cells throughout our entire body. These are my wax crayons. Oh, Foofy, please, with this motorized little mouse that he went and bought you. Oh my God, hold on. So the motorized mouse is now under the radiator, speaking of radiators. And then I went to go get it and it came out and now Foofy's sitting on it. He won't let me. This is ridiculous. Foofy, please. I'll give you a bonker. That might be a way for me to get him off the mouse so I can get it. So I've been talking to myself for the past 10 minutes. I don't know how much you saw, but I did catch the mouse. He is in the piano bench. Foofy is like not happy with me. Anyway, so I was telling you guys that if I am going over this again, I'll edit it out. I sealed the top of this already. Someone had asked me what kind of sealant I use, and I was like, I don't use sealant, but when I was doing a Nordic Christmas winter from Diamond Dreamer Designs, I found that the drills were popping, so I had to seal it. Now, the thing with Dreamer Designs is I did a canvas called Lilac by Curtis Reikovich, and I felt as though that the AB drills were bigger by design because she was wearing a lot of fur and there was a big tree scene behind her and you really see the AB drills pop out. Then I just thought, well, they're AB drills and that's why they're bigger. But Anthony made a good observation from Single and Placing that he's working with a canvas and he found that some of the drills were not consistent. Now, I don't know what is going on currently. I know that they're changing the drill field, and so I'm very anxious about the diamond paintings that I have bought from them, if I'm going to notice a difference. Being a new diamond painter, I didn't. I just thought that those bigger AB drills or different size AB drills were all part of the story. Like this is like the way it did give my canvas texture, and it did look okay. But I did notice that there were different faceted drills, and I felt as though, being a new diamond painter, is this the way that it is? Is this not the way that it is? I was just really getting my feet wet and feeling my way. So I did seal the top of this. I did read on Art Dot that it's best to do your sealant in sections, and I do like that idea. I always like that idea instinctively, not to put all your glue on it all at one time. So I got these 24 blocks done, and I said I'm going to seal this canvas, and you could tell, like, still shiny, still beautiful. You wouldn't even know that there was sealant on here if I didn't tell you. The canvas is still soft and pliable. So I like the Art Dot sealant. If I had to stand behind one, that's what I would use. I don't know what I used in the past. Again, being a new diamond painter, I just thought that that's the way you did it. And I think I was watching Katie, and someone asked her, well, what kind, Katie from Diamonds and Washi, what kind of sealant do you use? And she's like, I don't. You know, the canvases are so well made. She does a lot of Diamond Art Club, that I don't use sealant because the canvases are sticky enough and I've never had a problem. And I'm like, wow, that sheds a whole other light on things for me because if you're not sealing, then what are you saving drills for too? Why am I saving all these drills? I have bags and bags of drills that I've saved from a particular canvas. Okay. Next to my next diamond painter that I watch all the time, Lizette from Craft and Tells, who I'm trying to have the time to sit down and watch this beautiful series that she put together that I think was made just for me. It has to do with planning and not being overwhelmed by your stash. I think that that's what it's about. It's like, it seems to me to be a 7-part series. And I think I saw like the introduction and that was it. And I feel really bad that I haven't gotten a chance to get to that yet, but I will. Hi, Lizette. So Lizette will start, I don't know that she does this all the time. It might be just a way. I think that each diamond painting dictates the way that you're going to diamond paint. Like I thought in the beginning when I was doing this that I was going to use finally my art dot system the way that it was created to be used using the DMC codes. Did not work for me. It was driving me nuts. I went back to my original system. I put the labels on and then the way that I usually do it. No, A through Z. 1 through whatever, 8, 9. And then I would put all my arrows, and then I would put like all my diamond shapes, 1 diamond shape, 2 diamond shapes, 3 diamond shapes. Oh, here's all my diamonds. If you got this kit, let me just tell you right now, if you got this kit, and this is where I got screwed up. So now I went back to this system of looking for symbols. And I needed a check mark. But I put the wrong check mark on, because there's this check mark with a square around it. So, and on the canvas, they look similar in color. And what differentiates them is a box around it. And I'm like, why does this check mark have a box? I'm like, oh, please, God, don't tell me that there's 2 check marks. And there were. So then I said, enough of this, looking for symbols. It was driving me nuts. This is big confetti. So you're constantly like, I need this color. I need this color. I need this color. I feel like a short. Did you ever see the short where the girl goes, you know, and she's pulling all the things all at one time? I would normally, if I was set up correctly in my home right now, I would have my art dot confetti trays. I call them confetti. They're smaller ones. I would have them out. I would have my China marker out. Let me get my case. The case is coming back out again. I would have my China marker out, and I would say, okay, I'm working with number 8, and I would write here 8. These are all the 8 drills. These are all the 4 diamond drills, you know, and I might even just write 4 diamond, you know, on there. Then try and draw 4 diamonds. And then I would have them out, and this would be my space that I was working, and I would have them all out in front of me where I'm used to painting. I paint also. I paint and I sketch also. So I would just be dipping like a painter. And what I like about those art dot trays is that they connect together and you can make a palette out of them. So even if you wanted to hold them, and you don't put a lot in the drills. You don't put a lot of drills in there. One of these kits, I think it was the Boy Angel, came with a spoon, which was nice. Yeah, here he is. Came with a spoon. Now I wouldn't even put this much in there. I wouldn't put this much in there. I would put like a quarter of that in this little, because it's confetti, you're not picking that many up. So if you have an oopsie, something happens, my cat gets nuts and wants to jump up on it, which he better not. Yeah, he's always listening. I wouldn't have that big of a deal unless the area was exposed. Then we're talking a whole different thing. So being that this was a lot of confetti, I then went back to my own system. And my own system is to separate the white symbols away from the dark symbols. Okay? So anything with a white symbol is most of the time a shade color. So as an artist, you sketch, you draw, and then you start to carve out the eyes. So the artist here put like a little, a deepening in the eye here, that to create depth. He put shadow in here to create depth. So your colors that are white are like shadow. I call them shadow colors, or my darker colors, my shade colors. There are what is giving depth to the portrait, to the canvas. I'm getting all confused with my painting lingo. Okay. And then these shades that are done in dark are, this really should be in white, but it's probably an accent color. I haven't used this too much, so it's printed in dark. It drives me nuts when they print dark symbols on dark colors. Dark colors should have white symbols because they're going to add depth. Darker shades should be printed in white symbols, again, because they're going to add depth, but your lighter shades are printed in dark symbols because they add light, like her skin tone. So that is where light is coming in. Maybe the light is hitting in the face. So there's your first clue in conquering confetti. I'm going to link my system and my method of doing confetti in a video that I started a few months ago. Okay, so that's how I conquer confetti in my own mind. Now, these symbols here, are they Latin? I don't know. But I keep them here together. These three, actually, they're kind of like, I don't know. They look like they're Latin to me. So I keep these three here. I know where they are. That's the Latin corner. Let me move these out of the way because I don't need them. And then the other thing that you'll notice too, if you follow the way that I do things, I'm always starting with the light symbols first. I'm going to cover all my light symbols first. And what you'll notice is being that they are the areas that create depth and shadow. What you're going to notice is that they're always together. So I start with 939. I start with 310 if 310 is available, right? And then right after 310, you know, an artist not only just shades, they also blend. The next color is going to be 939. You always find these colors together, and probably even 823. And then the next color that comes in this particular canvas is, I start to see the stars emerge, this symbol. And then the two diamonds emerge, this symbol. And then the little slash mark, I hate to say slash, backslash, that emerges. And then for an accent, my AB emerges. So these seem to be the colors that when I'm working confetti and I'm going towards my light colors, they're all together. So I just put them all together right here. Then the ones that are like onesie twosies is like this color green, this little 3-leaf clover. I don't even know what the hell that is. And then one diamond, and then the plus sign. These seem to be like accent colors. You could tell they're colored. So they're just like onesie twosies along the canvas. You know, you're opening these up, one and two. But this gang right here would be in my confetti trays when I was ready to diamond paint. Okay, so I was talking about Lizette. And then I fill in with my darker colors. Because then what you're going to find, like I did here last night, I didn't diamond paint for a long time because I had eye surgery yesterday. I diamond painted for like an hour. So what I see Lizette doing, again, it usually dictates, your canvas dictates how you're diamond painting. I see her sometimes do her top part, then she does her bottom part. So yes, I do have all this done. Do I have enough light here? My husband was looking in my eye before he left because I wanted him to see. I'll tell you all about the eye in a minute. So this is 939, I believe. Oh no, I think this is 310. I have the bag out because I needed it. This is 310. But there's also 939 mixed in. And the usual suspects. Let me just show you because I just put these all away. The usual suspects, that little gang of light and dark. Oh, did I put them underneath? Yeah. Okay. So I started here with this color, with the black. And then came 939. And then came this shade. So they're all in here. That's not just all black. And then came this shade. You could see happening in here. Then came the stars. You could see those two here. And then came the accents, which are right here. These little glimmers, little accents, which I love this color. It is so beautiful. I absolutely, this is probably my favorite drill in the bunch. I wish that there was more of it. I wish there was like, I thought it was going to be, when I saw this, when I did the unboxing, I thought that this was going to be what was going to be on her head, like, because there's something very ornate on her head. And then I have this gang that makes up the rest of this, you know, shadow coloring and accents, okay? So I find the method easy, that I do it this way. I do it like I would if I was painting a canvas. So that's how I came up with this. And I'm not hunting and pecking throughout my canvas. If I'm only looking at white symbols, let's move over. I might even pull this side up to show you, because I was like, oh, I have this little bit left. I'll do this with my on my channel tomorrow. But I don't know. I feel like this is how I fly here. You know, I feel like I'm explaining something to you guys, and I should do it while I'm diamond painting. So if this is going to be my next section, there's not that many. Not a good example, but this is going to be my next section. A lot of confetti. I would fill in all, which is not a lot, all my white symbols. Now, my white symbols usually give me a jumping off point to create the rest of this block. So I'm going to see where these guys are going to land as my my shade colors, because they do kind of, it might, even though there's a little bit, it might kind of be like, well, you'll start to see other shapes emerge. And really that's what you're working with too when you're doing my method of conquering confetti. You're working with patterns. You start to see patterns emerge. So like if I was going to do these shade colors to not really stress my eyes anymore, I would go into these darker colors next. I really do work my borders. And so if you see where these shadow or shade colors are, what is bordering them are the darker colored symbols. So I would do that. So let's just see. These are going to be onesies and twosies. Over here, what's underneath here? A lot of color blocking. But this piece here was a lot of white symbols, and I got through them really quickly because I wasn't worried about what was down here. I wasn't hunting for these black symbols. I was only hunting for my white symbols. So let's start with this kind of 3 lines here. And I like that I have my light colors together and my darker colors together. So it's a light color. I don't have to worry about this other tray here. Now, some of my white colors, my shade colors, shadow colors are in here. They're marked in white symbols. Or did I pull them all? Let me just do a double check, because I've been switching on and off. No, all my dark colors are here. Everything printed with a dark ink is here. So I don't even have to look in here. Everything I need is going to be in this canvas here. Are these my... These are darker colors too. Okay, because I was getting ready to do this. I was going to do this with you. But let me just give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So I'm not even going to bother with a tray because there's so little of these in here. I'm just going to put my little equal signs. 3 equal signs. It's 3 lines. It's not really an equal sign in here. How's everybody doing? What are you doing? What's your WIP today? Are you listening to me? Did I stop you from diamond painting? Or you're like, what the heck is this girl talking about? I will put my video in the description. It's about 30 minutes. I think of all the videos that I did, I really wanted to be very thorough in what I was teaching you, and I was doing Beauty in Violet, which was a custom by Dreamer Designs. And that's the other thing with Dreamer Designs. I do find their custom department absolutely different than their stateside department, would I say? I don't know. But they're all very helpful. Anytime I have ever contacted Dreamer Designs customer service, you know, within minutes, they're getting back to me. I'm talking to Donna. When I contact the Dreamer Designs overseas for the customs, I'm talking to Mark, and he's always been really helpful with my customs. He will tell me, like, let's get this canvas, let's cut it this size, let's make it bigger, let's make it smaller, let's, you know, not get too crazy with the ABs. Like, they're there to help you every step of the way. So it won't stop me from using Dreamer Designs whatsoever. So the next one that I'm going to go to is this star here. Same gang, just like I told you. You know, here comes the star. The backslash is in here, and one of those really pretty, a couple of those really pretty AB drills. So yesterday I went to the eye doctor, and I went to the eye doctor a month ago. 2 months ago, because I was showing you guys how to use a brooder mask, because I kept having this sensation that there's something in my eye, Get up every morning, I feel like I got glass in my eye. It's terrible. So here's what's left of my white symbols. I'm not even going to venture across that line there. I have 2 of my ABs, 2 of my diamonds, and 1 backslash. Okay. So, I went and he started me out with a brooder mask, and I love it. You put your brooder mask on, you put it in the microwave, you wear it for like 5-10 minutes, and then you'll feel your eyes, they feel really juicy. Here's the backslash. And you massage your eye, and my eyes would stay really moisturized all day long. I have a couple of diamonds here. But still I was waking up with this sensation, especially when the weather changed. So I don't have forced air. Forced air is worse. If you're having problems with your eyes, you'll feel it right away. When I walked into his office, I felt it right away. I did my brooder mask. I went to my eye doctor. And then when I walked in his office, as soon as I walked into that forced air, my eyes felt like there was cut glass in there. Not sand, more like a bottle cap, or, you know, just an eyelash, something that would really irritate your eye. So he put me on eye drops, and he said, I want you to take these exactly 1 month before we do these proton pumps that go into your tear duct. Well, I took them, I actually had to start them the day of John's party. And I was sick that night. I'm thinking, I just did so much cooking, and I really was running around taking care of my cat, the guests. I didn't enjoy anything. I did eat a piece of sugar. You know, I always go for the sugar, and I felt nauseous the rest of the day. And every time I did these drops, I felt nauseous. So all my little white spaces are done. So now what I would do here, if I wanted to conquer this, is I would look at what is bordering these ones that I put in. And from what I see, the next color that's emerging is like this Latin looking one I was telling you guys, the one that looks like this crazy N, like a scripted N. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to fill those in. Or you can do the letter E, but there's not that many, and they're further away. So I like to stay close to the border. So I'm going to take him out next. Where is he? Here he is. And I'm actually going to use a tray. So I went and I was doing the drops. You have to do them 4 times a day. So starting at 6 a.m., I was doing them 6 times 4 is 24. So every 6 hours I was putting them in. So at 6 a.m., 12 p.m., 6 p.m., and then 12 a.m. I was putting them in. Every time I did them, I was getting nauseous. I was feeling this kind of, I would feel it drip down my throat, and it would make me sick. And I called the office, and he was like, no, I really don't think it'll make you sick. I think maybe you got a bug going around. I'll go to my doctor. And he's like, no, they will make you sick. I'm like, okay. I think I'm just going to listen to myself. I think these drops are making me sick. And then as soon as I stopped them, of course, the pains in the stomach went away. So, I did not think when I went to the eye doctor yesterday that he was going to say, well, okay, we're going to do the surgery. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Aren't you just going to give me a new eye drop? He's like, no. He's like, let me do a reading on your eye. And he takes like this little, it kind of looks like something that they would look in your ear with. So he takes that but he touches your eye. Now, he couldn't even touch my eye a month ago. He was like, your eyes are so dry. And what he's trying to do is take a reading of the saline in your eye so that he can determine how dry your eyes are. 250 is the cutoff. You should have 250 and below moisture in your eye. Mine was over 300. So the right eye, terrible. Then when he went to go do the left eye, I'm like, this eye feels juicier than that eye. And he's like, it is, but it's like 275. So, you know, you're right at the cutoff point. And then John was there, and John is like a little kid. Oh, can you touch my eye? Can you see my eye? And he's like, let me get your wife out of the way first. But that foreign object sensation that you feel are the cells on your surface of your eye that are dying, and they fall off, and then it leaves like an exposed area that's very sensitive, a lot of nerves in the eye. So John was like, really? He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to put this dye in your wife's eye. And then I had the two of them in my eyeball yesterday. John is right up on the like the microscope that they put in your eye, and he's like, all those green flecks are dried dead cells that fell off your wife's eye. And John's like, oh my God, there's like a bunch of them. He's like, and that's why her eyes feel the way that they do, because this area is exposed and the eye is dry and it can't heal. Okay, so let me make sure I got all my funky looking ends. They're like a scripted end. Okay, now I'm going over here. And again, I'm not hunting around the canvas. Where was I? And I'm working around the border. So where was I? I was over here. And look at all these ends that are right here. So he puts his, like, you know, glasses on that he does the surgery with, and he's measuring my tear duct, which is like, really, how wide is your tear duct? It's like the size of a pin, you know. And he puts these proton pumps in, and of course the right one was having such a hard time, and I feel like it's a little scratchy. Like, I can't see the one on the left, but I could see a little black dot of the one on the right. So I was having a hard time this morning when I got up. I washed my face and it feels a little pinchy, but I know he said that as these begin to absorb the saline in your eye, here's one missing here, they will start to expand and fit better. So I don't anticipate them falling out. I just anticipate it being uncomfortable. I can see this one right here. I'm going to just scoot under there for a second. So I don't anticipate them, you know, falling out. But he said he does thousands of them, and he does have them fall out sometimes. And I just think that eye is just extremely dry. So he gave me an ointment to put on there. And then I came home, and you know, you got to cook, you got to do this, you got to do that, and I said, I finally want to sit down, and I wanted to do it because I'm making such great progress on this. I didn't want to lose it, and I just sat down for an hour yesterday. But I've been working on this canvas, ranging like 4 hours a day, averaging 4 hours a day. If I had to, you know, really think about, well, how long am I really working? So now the next color that I see emerging here is like a club. I'm just hanging on my border. So that's the next one that I'm going to put in. And I don't think he's here. I think he's in the dark side. He's on the, he's a lighter shade. So yeah, right. I got confused. I'm like, there was not a lot of white on this side. So I'm forgetting that I'm already working with the light colors. The whole black and white thing is a little confusing, but when you're trying to explain it, I'm looking for the darker, the black symbols, which are, you know, they're not really shade colors. They're more like the darker shades, like 310, 939, 823, but these are more medium tone to light. I think that's the best way. So now I just hovered around here and I found what was a club, and now I'm going to hover around here and see where I see my first club. There he is. So even though there weren't a lot of the white symbols, because the white symbols I find to be easy, because you're just looking for white symbols. What could be easier? You're not looking for dark symbols. You're just looking for white symbols. And, you know, again, like I said, they kind of stay in their little gang because they're your shadow shade colors. And for me, it is made confetti fun. It's made confetti easy. And I'm just going to go back and look. Do I see any more clubs? Especially in this area, but sometimes you get, like I call it a paint splatter. You get a paint splatter and you'll find one rogue one that's like, I'm over here. So what's next? Well, the next color that I see hovering around what I've already put down is the letter E. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to put this away. So then what else did we do? So, you know, John really wanted to watch a movie. And I'm like, I spent a lot of my day with you. I need to get some things done here, honey. So his friend is a film critic. What did I say? Letter E. His friend is a film critic. And his friend every year puts out a list of movies that are on his, as Katie would say, because I was watching Katie and I didn't get a chance to finish watching her. Katie from Diamonds and Wash, she was doing her 2024 year-end review, and she started with the last one. I think she started with 50 or 51, and she's like, it was fun, but it was like, meh. The way that she did it was so adorable, especially now that when she actually decides to get behind the camera, and you see the face with the voice. She was like, it was like meh. So his friend David starts with he started backwards. He started with these are my A list, and then these are my you know. So we sat down. We had the A's. We're already up to the ABC. We did the B's last night. And now I think David dropped C, D, and E. So we started with the A's, all the movies beginning with the letter A. And we looked through them all, and I'm like, I'm saving all the Mafia ones for you. Neither one of us like horror, so that was easy to just say, meh, no, we don't do horror. So, and I'm going to tell you how good this guy is. He gave us a movie last year, and maybe even the year before, and we were so appreciative of him. You know, like David, what's hot? And it was an old black and white movie, and it had these kids, you know, and they lived, oh God, just like I couldn't pick a spot that's just remote and farmland, and maybe it would be like the early 1800s, I would say. And they think somebody robs a bank and he's hiding out in their barn. And can't remember the whole gist of the story, but it was so good. But the kids think that it's the baby Jesus. They think that he's Jesus that has come to save their family. But it sounds crazy, and it's not really a religious movie, but it was just so good. It was so good. So anyway, more to what you might relate to. So we go through, we go on Apple TV, and we put all these movies into search, and if they seemed appealing to us, then we were going to put them on our watch list. So John, I said, you keep all the Mafia movies. I'm not interested in anybody robbing a bank. I'm not interested in any Mafia movies, Mafia money, Mafia revenge, all that. I can't get into that. I don't like it. I don't like the culture. I don't like anything about it, and I just won't even waste my time on it. And we find a movie that we could both agree on. Now, let me just tell you who the cast of characters is. And tell me if you've seen this movie. Ewan McGregor is the son of a wealthy family who makes ladies' gloves, handmade lady gloves. He's in love with Jennifer Connelly, and he wants to marry her. She's the beauty queen of the town, but she's very smart. she's more than just a beauty queen, you know. You get a scholarship. I think she got like a scholarship on her looks or whatever. But she's willing to give everything up to marry Ewan McGregor, but he's Jewish, she's Catholic. They got to meet the old man. I can't remember his name. They got to meet the old man, and the old man is like, listen, you know, you're pretty as a peach, but, you know, my son's not going to marry you because you have different religions, and I'm not having my kids baptized. No way. They're not eating the body of Christ. He's like, he's just like so against the religion. He hates everything about the way that she wants to raise his children. And she's like, well, then we won't have children. So they finally come to an agreement. They're going to get married. They have a child. And the child is Dakota Fanning. Have you seen this movie? I never even heard of it. I can't say that I watch a lot of movies either. I'm not really one in front of the TV. And I was telling you guys the other day, I realized why I don't watch television. And it's really because when I look at family sitcoms and all, I am so annoyed by the parents and I'm so annoyed by the children. I can't look at another kid with a cell phone in their hand, back talking their parents. It annoys the hell out of me. I'm not into being annoyed. So I just skip TV a lot of the time. Anyway, so Dakota Fanning is the child. And she is a very sensitive child. I'm not giving anything away. I won't tell you anything about this movie. She's a very sensitive child. She is very drawn to the injustices of the world. Okay? Gets very emotional about it. So what is hovering around my drills that I have laid down? So here I see like a lot of these, I call them the 3 diamonds. And yeah, I would say that there's a few 3 diamonds here too. I missed the letter E right there. Let me get it out. Get it out of the way. So yeah, I'm going to move into the 3 diamonds, but I also see that the 3 diamonds are also kind of sort of, oh, I wonder why I'm not picking anything up. It's because it's in there, but I think it's backwards. Are you in there? Oh, this is actually a piece of trash that is now stuck in there. So let's move on to the next pen. This is why I have multiple pens out. Letter E. Yeah. So I could see 3 diamonds, but they're kind of like moving out into this area now. But you get the idea of how I just hover around the border of the last color that I put down, and then they'll start to come in close and connect together, where you're going to have like bigger chunks of like some minimal, like a few lines of color blocking. But I'm going to do the next, how many colors did we put down? 3 or 4? I'm going to do this next 3 diamonds, and then the 4 diamonds are right behind it. So I'm going to do the next 3 diamonds. This is letter E. Here's the 3 diamonds. So that's how she grows up. But she's growing up in the 60s, and there was a lot of turmoil in the 60s. And she becomes, and this is the description of the movie, she becomes a revolutionary. And it just tears the fabric of this family apart. Jennifer Connelly's excellent. You know, she plays these very dramatic roles very well. Ewan McGregor, he's just, oh my God, whatever is on this boy's mind is on his face. You know, I just love the way that he's able to really give you a sense of, I thought I had one of these open already before I left the house because I had run out before I even started this. This is why this is take 2. This is it, actually. I've been using the red wax that came with this kit. And this is wax that came as a gift from Ren. And I will tell you that it smells like bazooka bubblegum. I leave it out because I love the aromatherapy of it. It's a very sticky wax, but again, I'm noticing some changes. It has that big pop, 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 pop sound. Let me, that might be what's, oh no, this is one that has the trash drill in it. No, it's very soft. I'll just give it a little whirl here so you can hear the popping. Okay, what am I on? The 3 diamonds. Here we go. Oh, it had a lot of pop yesterday. But I think because I put this on top of another wax that was in there, that maybe it's not popping as loud. It's a good wax. I like it. I love the smell of it. But I can't seem to get away from my Art Dot putty. Even though I think that the Art Dot putty, I think, is for high humidity. Now, since the weather has changed, I've noticed some changes with it. And again, I think it's because of the radiator heat. I noticed it as soon as my husband put the heat on. I was like, why is this putty acting like this? So it's a different kind of heat. You know, humid heat from the weather is one type of heat. And this was heat from my radiator that was just, you know, making it act funny. I didn't like the way that it was putting my drills down. So, all right, I'm filling in all my little 3 diamonds. And, you know, I could opt to not expand outward. There were just a few that I saw in my peripheral vision. It's also a good idea to look away and relax your eye. Just don't even look for anything. You're not looking for this. You know, like you might say, okay, did I get them all? Well, I'm going to tell you, look away from the canvas, pick up something to drink, relax your eye, don't look for anything, and it's going to pop right out at you. Because that's what happens, right? You look away, you go to put the drills away, you come back, you're not looking for it, it's there. Boom. There it is. So that's another little, it works where I'm like, oh my God, there's 3 of them right there in the row. How did I not see them? So I'm going to just do go around. I'm just going to stay in this circle here. And if there's one up here, well, then when I get up there, I'll take it out. You know, you can't get away from not missing a drill when you're doing confetti. It's going to happen. But it happens less, I find, because I'm not doing all this hunting and pecking here. So that was the movie that we liked. Oh, it's called American Pastoral. That's the name of the movie. American Pastoral. I never even heard of it. And I love Ewan McGregor. I like Jennifer Connelly. Did that drop there or does it belong there? Nope, it belongs there. Okay. And so the next one that I see hugging, I know I said the 4 diamonds, but I really see a lot of the letter O. So I'm going to go with that one, even though there's some over here too. Or I can go with the 4 diamonds because there's just minimal. No, I'm going to go with the letter O. You make your own choices. But I'm not all over the place. I'm still right here. I'm not looking all over, and I'm certainly not taking a big piece. Like this here, I know what's here already, so I'm not really paying attention to this section. This was the section that I was supposed to be working with you guys today. But I went into this whole explanation of, you know, why I've changed my system back to my own system. I really would like to do the Art Dot system with the DMC codes, and maybe I'll try that with a smaller kit. But for right now, I think because there's just so much confusion in my life right now. I'm just trying to find a space. And now my husband has decided that he wants to clean his music room. Okay, that's nice, John. That's great. But his music room is, you know, years of being a bachelor. And he just collects everything. But here's the dig. Everything has meaning. So I'm like, John, I think maybe you should call some of your friends up and see if they want any of this stuff, because some of it is sentimental, you know. And he has the people are like, I can't believe you still have this. I can't believe you have this. He's a sentimental guy, and he held on to a lot of stuff, but the stuff that I'm like, listen, we have to just deal with the stuff that we can give away without worrying about the sentimental value. So he's got cassette tapes. Oh, he's got DVDs. He's got CDs. Like all this stuff we have all over again, you know. Yeah, we all went out and bought the cassette tapes, and then, oh, wow, CDs, and then now everything's on an iPod. So this generation was really lucky that they didn't have this junk, you know, that they didn't have to go through all these changes where your music was on a CD, your music was on a cassette tape or an 8-track, and then it was on a CD, and then it was on an iPod, and he has the original iPod. And I just looked that up recently, and iPod is like, if you have the original one, you can get a pretty penny for it. And he's got the original iPod. I mean, he takes care of his things, and he and I'm telling you, he had an 8.5 by 11 photo of the Philadelphia Phillies that his friend gave him for his 8th birthday because he couldn't go because his father was taking him to Fan Day. And he said, Johnny, I couldn't make your birthday party, but I got this for you from Fan Day. And all the Philadelphia Phillies signed it. It was pristine. And Steve Carlton was on the other side, a full picture of Steve Carlton, and he signed it too. And his friend gave that to him for his 8th birthday. And when he took it out, I was like, John, you know, the guy down the street does memorabilia, sports and music memorabilia. I said, I don't think that you want to price this because Mark gave this to you. He's like, no, I'm going to call Mark up. His son's a baseball player, and I'm going to give this to him. I'm going to present it back to him. I've had this for, you know, since I was 8 years old. And I'm like, that's great. Now, a friend of ours runs a magazine here in Philly called Row Home Magazine. We went to school with Dorette and Dawn. And I said, this is an article that Dorette and Dawn would want to write about because it's about South Philly and it's about friendships and childhood. And they have sections like that in the magazine. I'm like, you have to have, I'm going to call her. I want her to do an article on this or see if she would be interested in doing an article on this. And of course they were. And John sat down with the reporter. I'm going to have to put that, I'll put a picture of it up. And they met on the corner where they all grew up. And John presented, you know, Mark and his son with the picture back. And like, just to even have that, you know, just to have it. And we love Mark. Oh, he's such a great guy. He's such a great guy. The Boys of Alder Street. The Boys of Alder Street. So that was really now where I'm getting now into some bigger pieces of filling in this part of this canvas. So I hope that made sense to you, this little demonstration of what I call, you know, turning confetti chaos into a more manageable way to do your confetti canvases and have fun with them. Have fun, not be like a scatterbrain and be like, oh, now I'm looking away. Let me go back and look and see if I missed any. Not looking. I'm just looking at it. And it's so funny because you'll just go back and you'll be like, oh my God, it's like right there. How did I miss this? Check out American Pastoral. American Pastoral. Did I tell you guys everything that I wanted to tell you today? Okay, this was take 2 because take 1, I just had one interruption after the other. It was like, I just couldn't sit down. I was like, at one point I happened to be talking to you guys. I went to go grab my coffee. It was piping hot. And I'm like, oh, what is this old guy doing? He's crossing the street. It's icy out. You know, he's going to fall. So I ran out the door to go help him cross the street and get him on his way. He wasn't a neighbor. He was a stranger. But I was like, oh my God, you know. And now I see John coming back. He's parking the car. So before he comes in and goes, are you videotaping? I'm going to say goodbye. And I'm glad that I was able to squeeze this back in. And I actually like the second version because I think it's was a little bit more well thought out. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is a clue of how I do things from now on. But here he comes. Bye. I will see you. Will I see you tomorrow? I don't know if I have any deliveries coming. I'm still waiting for those 3 replacements from Dreamer Designs. But I think I am expecting a delivery. And if I am, and it's here, you will see me. Bye. Have fun. See you, as always, in the next one. Keep creating that world that you want to live in.